Austin Carroll's hockey career began the way it does for thousands of kids across the country.
I mean, I have very few memories back in Calgary, but definitely the ones that I do remember have been on the outdoor rinks of my backyard or, down the street.
His dad basically built him a hockey rink the moment he was born in his backyard, yeah. And I think he was not even 2 when we strapped on his first pair of skates.
And whether it be at early morning practice or a late night training session, Austin's father, Phil, was always pushing his son to the limit.
Some nights, be having fun just shooting pucks. Other nights, he'd be telling me to work on my backhand, and I'd be like, no, I want to shoot clappers, So definitely some times where he'd leave or I'd leave just heated and wouldn't talk for a day, and then the next day we'd be out there again. That summer, me and my dad had a couple man-to-man chats, and we decided that coming to Victoria was definitely the best for my hockey career. And, my mom had a tough time with it, but I think now that I've progressed and I am now, I think it's all three of us were very happy with the decision.
Goes Carroll on a breakaway, he scores!
Still, as Austin settled into a second home on Vancouver Island, Phil's battle with prostate cancer stretched into its 4th year, leaving his #1 fan weaker by the day.
I didn't really realize to the extent it was probably the first year I was in Victoria, Christmas time. That was right when I knew my dad was sick. He set a goal. He said, I'm going to be in Victoria at this date and I'm going to be able to spend time with my son. And, I'm thankful he did that.
And it was during that trip to see Austin and the Royals in October of 2012 when the Carroll family really began to appreciate the role that hockey had in their lives.
He was very, very weak. He had gone through huge chemotherapy and he was sick. He had cancer all through his body. But we had a great time. We went to the games. He just came to life at the games. It was just what life, it fueled him. It just gave him, it was the best medicine that we could have ever given him.
And, we got to see him around the rink a bit, and it always brightened up Austin's day, and really, you could see the excitement in his step in that when his dad was around. You're living your dream, and your dad is soaking up as much time of the dream as he can.
Definitely took advantage of every moment we had, and as much as he wasn't himself, it was just, it was incredible to see that what lengths he would go for his son.
But as Phil returned home and Austin to his Western Hockey League schedule, things would take a turn for the worse, leaving only enough time for one final exchange between a coach and player, father and son.
Austin called me. He was down. He was worried. What if Dad doesn't know how I feel?
She just said, you know what, why don't you go home and just write a letter and give it to him for Christmas? And I was like, okay. I went home and I thought it'd be tough to write the letter, but I just wrote for about an hour and just wrote what I felt, and it was simple. The letter just said that there was a lot more to our relationship than hockey. And, we did everything together and we were best friends.
And at the end, Phil, with tears just pouring down his face, said, that is the greatest gift a father could ever have, is having the love and respect of his son like that. And 48 hours later, he died.
He's definitely with me every step of the way, and I played every game for him, and I still do.
In December 2012, there was a defining moment in Austin Carroll's young life, losing his best friend, his mentor, his father, to a battle with prostate cancer.
Best man takes his first big step.
But just 3 weeks later, it was time for the 18-year-old to get back to following his dream.
Every game, I just think about him and think about that's what he wants me to be doing, and that's what I should be doing. As much as I wanted to be reminded and I wanted to mourn, they kind of let me go and play hockey and not think about it all the time. And when I did get down or I did have some bad days, or if I did want to talk to somebody, there was guys there that I could talk to.
Anytime you see a friend, a teammate having to deal with that, it's hard. And I thought our group really stayed strong together, and they were able to rally around. As an ex-player, we always thought the game was the most important, and it's something that we try and put in with our kids now. Is it's family first, and then the game.
As much as my team was there for me, my mom was, she's the reason I'm so strong.
And now Austin's mother has taken Phil's fight into her own arena, spreading awareness about men's health.
Austin and my daughter Jessica asked me a week after Phil passed away, did Dad do anything wrong? And of course I'm like, oh gosh, no, he did everything right. He had the best doctors, the best, he did all the chemo, the radiation, he took all the meds he was supposed to, and he fought to the end, and he never gave up. And then I, looked a little deeper into their eyes and realized that this was one of those teachable moments, those moments where the people that you love in your life come to you and they want to know the truth. They don't want the sugar-coated version. So I looked at them and I said, it's not that Dad did anything wrong. It's that Dad thought he was invincible. He really thought he was unstoppable. I found out he even ignored some symptoms. He had symptoms of prostate cancer that he ignored. And if he was proactive, 97% of men survive prostate cancer. That's a huge odd. But you have to detect it early. And so it's just a matter of being proactive about your health and just getting checked.
And on the one-year anniversary of Phil's death, with the Royals playing in his home province of Alberta, Austin paid the ultimate tribute to his dad.
The one thing that he wanted to do was he wanted to score a goal for his dad, right? And sure enough, in the third period, he went out and scored and got another one. So, it made it, it's never going to make it easy, but I'm sure it really helped him.
Said a little prayer before the game with my dad, and the second I stepped onto that ice, it's pretty amazing how my mood just changed, and just to do that on the anniversary and in Medicine Hat and in Alberta, it was pretty awesome.
It was powerful. I know that his team was behind him. I know the coaches were behind him, and I think I'm hoping it was the beginning of, the rest of his life in this sport and just carrying on what his father's given him. And now he's a man. He's got to do it on his own.
He's definitely with me every step of the way, and every game he's with me, and every goal he's with me, and I feel him every day.